Hello, healers and health seekers. It's me, Ichoda, healing on the medical medium protocols for 21 months now, healing multiple chronic illnesses, which, if you're interested in what those are, take a look at the description down below. Today, I am going to answer a question that was posted on a video that I recently posted. And that question is 21 months? Why aren't you cured? Valid question. Sure, I get it. People want things to be overnight, right? People want things to be like, but don't you just pop a pill and then you're all good? Let me ask you a question though. How many people do you know personally who have had severe debilitating chronic illnesses and tried some treatment that cured them overnight? How many people do you know who have had chronic illnesses, who went into a doctor's office, only one doctor, and came out with a cure and then didn't have that chronic illness anymore? Do you know any? Can you think of one? Because I don't. I don't know any. What I do know is hundreds and thousands of people in the medical medium community who are healing long-standing chronic illnesses, lifelong chronic illnesses, by using the right healing foods, the right supplements for their particular illnesses, because they finally know the root cause to their illness. And I am only one of those people. I just happen to have decided to make a YouTube channel. But if you go on Instagram, you go on Medical Medium's Instagram and look for reposts, or look for the hashtag Medical Medium, you will find thousands of posts of people talking about their healing. I'm not kidding you. So many people. And there are so many creative Instagrammers out there who they post amazing recipes, they post their healing stories, they post inspiration. They are amazing, amazing healing warriors for the light. These people are amazing. They have overcome amazing things, just like I have. And here's the thing. I don't know if you've seen my previous video where I talked about how sick I really was. But the culmination of my chronic illness at my very, very sickest, and don't think that that was it, because for about 5 years, my health just went down and down and down and down to the point where I became non-functional. However, the viruses and the bacteria, the pathogens in my body that caused me to get that sick, were at work for decades before, taking me down little by little. Only I didn't really realize it because I was still mostly pretty functional, just, kind of tired a lot and couldn't figure out why I didn't have as much energy as other people did. And I had extra sensitivities that other people didn't have to certain things. And I had more pain in my body than other people had, things like that. However, I did not realize that it could just kick into crazy high gear at some point, which is what it did in the year 2012. It kicked into crazy high gear and took me out to the point where I could not leave my home for over a year. I couldn't leave. I had to use a wheelchair if I did want to go anywhere, because I had just no gas in the tank. Like, here's the truth. I do not know how to explain to an able-bodied, healthy person what it feels like to have chronic fatigue to the level of just feeling like you have zero gas in the tank. I guess I could liken it to a car with zero gas in the tank, where it just can't move no matter what you do. You can't tell it, you lazy car, get up off the couch and move. Or, come on, car, you just don't want to do that. You're just, oh, isn't it nice and convenient that you're just hanging out at home? No, if the car is out of gas, it can't go anywhere. It can't move. It doesn't matter that the battery is in tip-top shape, or that, you replace the paint or anything like that. It's the gas. It needs gas. And I had no gas. I had no fuel in my cells to do anything. And that is actually what it felt like. It really felt like, I remember being out one day when I was getting sicker and sicker, but one day I felt like, okay, I felt well enough to maybe go play a round of mini golf with my son and my husband. And I remember that day, it was very hard for me to stand up to do the rounds of mini golf. It wasn't a big golf, it was a tiny little mini golf course. It wasn't very big, but it was getting harder and harder for me to stand up. And at one point, I was like, I have to go. I have to go at least sit in the car. And I was going to go sit in the car, and I got close to the parking lot, and I literally just could not move another foot. I could not push myself to walk any further. And it wasn't very far. It was like 20 feet to the parking lot, and then another 20 feet to my car. I couldn't get there. I couldn't. My husband had to get the car, drive over to where I was just standing. Well, I sat down. There was a bench. Drive over to where I was sitting, because I was like, I can't go any farther. And it scared the hell out of me, because I had not experienced quite that level of fatigue before, to where I literally felt like I just couldn't move my body anymore, because I was just out of gas. I couldn't even coast down a hill. I was out of gas, just stuck. And it really scared me. I had such deep fatigue in my body. And this built up for years. And when my health first started tanking was in 2012, but it took about 5 years to fully culminate. Well, I guess 3 or 4 years to fully culminate into where I couldn't leave the house anymore, and to get to that level of fatigue, and to where I had nothing in me. I had nothing. And I couldn't even really move around my house. I couldn't take a shower. I definitely couldn't drive a car anymore. I lost that ability. I couldn't wash dishes. I couldn't take the trash or anything. I couldn't do anything. I could barely, I'd have to push myself if my son wanted to go out. He was younger, and I had to push myself if he wanted to go out and bounce on the trampoline. Some days I couldn't. Some days I couldn't go with him, and it would just, and this is in our backyard. Like, this is literally our backyard, 40 feet from my sofa. I couldn't do it. I couldn't just go walk out there and even just sit and watch him. It was that hard. Like, I couldn't do anything. And, that's how sick I got. So why am I not cured? I would say I am, actually. I would say I am cured. I am not currently the picture of ultimate health, as far as having the lowest body weight, or my skin being totally clear or whatever. But I'll tell you what, I can go out into the world again. I can function. I can do things. And I'm at, I don't know. If I were to give it a percentage, I guess I would say I'm at about 80% capacity, 75, 80% capacity. And it's pretty amazing, considering I was at negative numbers before. And that happened. It's just amazing what continues to happen. And why I say I'm healing and continuing to heal is because I am. Because honestly, at this point, I've learned enough in the medical medium protocol, and the noises you hear are my pug snoring. I'm sorry about that. She's just loud. She likes to make her presence known. But the amount I've healed and how far I've come on the medical medium protocols, and why I say I'm healing for 21 months, because healing doesn't stop. You keep doing the protocols and more healing happens. And you know what? Eventually this weight will come off. My liver will be healed enough, and my lymph system will be able to move this stuff out. And I'm not even worried about it. Like, I'm not, because I didn't start eating this way to lose weight. I started eating this way because I could not function in the world. The weight, like, who cares about my weight when I can't even get up off the couch and take a freaking shower, you know? Like, who cares? Do I care about that? No, that's not my priority. My priority is feeling good again. My priority is getting better. And not just for me, but I've got a kid. My family is so important to me, and I do not want my kid to ever grow up and experience what I experienced. I do not want him to ever have to know what it feels like to be so sick that you cannot freaking move your body, and to be so reactive to the world that literally everything in it makes you allergic and have a reaction and maybe will put you in the ER. No, I don't want him to know what that feels like. Having to watch me go through it is enough for him to experience, and I don't want him to ever know what it really feels like to be in a body like that. I want him to grow up healthy. I want him to grow up being able to move through the world and be in the world without being taken down by it. Because this world, this world is toxic. Muniza, medical intuitive, who is, I would say, I guess, a mentor of mine. She's an amazing human. She's a practitioner who follows the medical medium protocols, and she teaches courses and does everything she can to help the rest of us learn more about our health, and helps get people better, And she just did an Instagram live, very passionate Instagram live that probably by the time I post this video won't be up anymore, unfortunately. But it was about children. In her practice, she sees kids a lot, and kids are her priority because she's a mother. Sometimes horrible things happen to children, and sometimes you can't do anything about it, and you just watch it. And she's like, I can't, as a mother, like, we know we can't let this happen again. We don't want this to ever happen to another child. And here's what you might not know about me personally. I lost a child. So in 2000, I had my first son, and he was born with a really severe heart defect called hypoplastic left heart syndrome. And I don't care what anybody says. I know what caused that heart defect. It was pesticides. In 1999, when we moved into our first house, it had been sprayed with pesticides. At that same time, I had a job working for a carpet cleaning company that was also a flood and fire restoration environmental services company, and they used really powerful solvents to clean and restore the items for this company. Now, I worked in the office, so technically I didn't have to work with those solvents, but the warehouse was right off of the office, and the warehouse guys who did the restoration had to wear respirators to work with these solvents. But we were sitting in the office with no respirators, just working in this office. And that exposure to all those toxins, that exposure to all those pesticides and all those solvents, I know is why my son's heart did not fully form when I became pregnant with him, because I was still in that office when I became pregnant. And I was the one who was complaining about the solvents and trying to open the door every time they would be working with them, because there was no ventilation in this office. Now, I loved my job. I loved that company. But I know that's what caused his heart defect. I know it is. It's what caused his heart to not fully form. Nobody's going to tell me otherwise, because I know. A mama knows. You feel it in your gut and in your heart what happened. And I wasn't mad at the company. I knew they didn't know better. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm just telling you, especially with medical medium and knowing what I know now. My son died in 2003 from that heart defect after his third My son died in 2003 after his third open heart surgery. There's a reason I don't talk about it very much. What you have to understand is that after he died, I knew in my heart of hearts that what I needed to do was find out the true cause of health. And I am not kidding you when I say I dedicated my life after that to researching health and how to be healthy. And I tried everything. I tried so hard. I have eaten so many different ways before I ever became chronically ill. Because I always believed in my heart of hearts that there was a way to be healthy and to have health. And the message that I got from him and my guides or intuition after he died was that I needed to find the way to get myself as healthy as possible. And I never stopped searching for that way. I thought I had found that way a few other times before finding medical medium, and I was wrong. I failed a lot. But I did not give up. And when I got my sickest, I started to give up. I did. I started to give up and think, I failed. It can't be done. You know, it's this planet is too sick or whatever. Like, I couldn't figure it out. Medical medium books came, and here I am. And I may have failed for over a decade, but I finally succeeded. And why that became so important to me, I mean, I think that's apparent. Because when you're a parent, when you're a mother, like I became a mama bear after that. I mean, I was then. The second I became a mother, I became a mama bear. And even before that, I was that way with friends, and I always had that maternal protective, but it just kicked into crazy high gear when I had a child the first time and just never stopped after that. And that made me have to keep fighting. My second son, while I was so chronically ill, watching how much he suffered from my illness, I had to keep fighting. And seeing that he has, his own health issues that needed my help, needed resolving. And I just could not let him go through what I went through. I couldn't. So I had to find it. I had to find the answer. I had to know, and I did. I found the answer. And so the question, why aren't you cured? I almost don't understand, because really I am cured, and I'm still healing. I am still healing because I have a lifetime of healing to make up for, to undergo. I don't mean like I'll be healing for the rest of my life. I do mean that I will be on this protocol for the rest of my life. I will be continuing to build strength in my body and build it back up and put it back. I don't know if there was ever a time in my life when I did have full health. So who knows what that really feels like and what that is like, because I don't know. Being alive in the world today, is anybody born with just true full health, and do they get to keep it anymore with all the toxins in our environment and all the stuff we're up against? I mean, I don't know that the answer to that is, I don't think so. Even Olympic athletes, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They're amazing, but the way they push their bodies, I feel like, I don't know if, like, does anyone have that full health? Maybe there are people that somehow manage to miss it all, but I don't know any. I don't. Everybody I know's got something going on. I mean, that's really what I have to say about it. I am delighted with every bit of progress I've made. I am delighted. If all progress I have made on this medical medium protocol stopped right now and I didn't get any better than this, it would be an absolute unmitigated success. I would be thrilled. I would be overjoyed, and it still to me would continue to be a miracle, because I do have a life back. I can be in the, I can function, I can function. And from here on out, even if nothing else happens, if I don't recover another single symptom, I have enough strength in my body and enough fuel in my body and enough momentum that I could do the rest all by myself. But I'm not doing it all by myself. I am doing it with great amounts of help from all of the healing foods and all of the supplements and all of the information that Anthony William puts out constantly, because he's got all the information in the books, but there's even Spirit is giving him new information every day. So sometimes there's always new stuff to hear and learn and listen. And I am so grateful for that. And if you look at me and you say 21 months and whatever, like, why isn't more progress done? I'm like, well, what, you tell me an alternative that does you better. Long-term, permanent, not just like quick fix, like a weight loss thing or something, because that's not what this is about. And the weight loss will happen. I have no doubt in my mind that weight loss will happen. But this is for health. This is for having quality of life, because I could be 98 pounds. Oh, that would just be too small on me. That would be sickly. But on some people it works, but on that would be too not heavy. I could be 120 pounds. But if I'm sitting in a wheelchair and I can't get up off my sofa, what good is it? Like, who cares? Who freaking cares? Why is that important? If I can't move my body and I can't be part of life and I can't go out into the world and I'm reacting to everything, what does weight matter at all? What good is it going to do me to weigh 125 pounds? None. Health is what's important, and I'm getting there. And the weight will come off, because that's part of health. A healthy liver and a healthy lymph system means your body gets to the right healthy weight for your body. But that is not the top priority. The top priority is the healing, and the healing has and is happening, and it continues to happen. And I'm amazed, I am grateful and I am amazed every single day. Know that. Just know that. 21 months is amazing, because it means this has worked for 21 months. It continues to work for 21 months. It didn't stop working at any point in 21 months that would ever make me think, yeah, this is not it. And I have spent the last 15 years of my life searching for this, and I finally found it. I'm never going to let it go. I'm never going to let it go. And I know that's what my son wanted for me. And that's what I wanted for me. And my family, and my family. And I am eternally, eternally grateful to have it. So that's what's improved. Thank you for watching this video. I know it got intense, and I hope it answered your question, and I hope that it helps deepen people's understanding of the information and why we do what we do. And I'm so grateful for everything about my life. I'm so grateful for having this venue that I can share this information with people who need it. And I'm so grateful that the people who need it are finding each other, finding me, finding Medical Medium. I love you. I wish you the greatest healing. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.